Next proponent, please.
Mr. Chair and members of the committee, I am the Reverend Joan Board from Helena, an ordained deacon in the Episcopal Diocese of Montana. I am here in support of Senate Bill 167. I am not here to convert you to my personal religious belief, but I am here to ask you not to impose the perspective of one faith upon all Montanans. There is no religious institution that speaks for all of us. There are, however, many religious people who support aid in dying. Free will, love, and compassion are the central articles of Christian faith. For believers, our deaths involve a very private conversation with our Creator. We pray that the manner of our dying will fulfill our relationship with God, honor the life we led, and ease our loved ones' grief. Christian compassion exhorts us to relieve whenever we can the suffering of others. The issue before us is whether or not a competent, terminally ill adult should have the right to determine the manner in which he or she dies. I have wrestled with that issue for at least 67 years. That is, ever since I realized that someday I would die. Very few people I have known have died suddenly. Most suffered for months or years. My father suffered for 10 years before he died from complications caused by emphysema, and my mother suffered 10 months before her death by non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. The deaths of those close to me are not unusual. Approximately only 20% of us will die a sudden death. 80% of us will die as a result of a prolonged and terminal illness. For 7 years, I have been a hospice volunteer. I have served patients who have died from congestive heart failure, Lou Gehrig's disease, and cancer. One terminal cancer patient stands out because he wanted to end his suffering. Every time I visited him, he told me he wanted to die. He was a retired brigadier general who had served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. He was no stranger to death and dying. He ended up dying a slow, painful death. Should a competent, terminally ill adult have the right to determine the manner in which he or she dies? I believe they should. Senate Bill 167 does not, and I want to emphasize that, does not force anyone to do anything against his or her will. It does not mandate physicians to honor a patient's request for assistance in dying. It forbids lethal injection, mercy killing, active euthanasia, assisted suicide, or homicide. It does guarantee an individual's freedom to exercise his or her free will concerning matters of moral concern, and the United States and Montana constitutions guarantee the free exercise of one's religious beliefs. Without a law such as Senate Bill 167, a mentally competent and terminally ill adult has little choice in the manner in which she or he dies. Rather, the individual is condemned to die a cruel death only because he or she had the bad luck to have a terminal illness. I urge your support of Senate Bill 167.